and it's 15 years on the board. And Eddie Maguire was a great Collingwood president. Everybody will accept that. What I saw my role, James, was Ed's not an expert in finance or governance and all that sort of stuff. So a bit like with Mark Mentha, let's divvy things up. So I was very much, I would have said, behind the scenes. Eddie's vice president looked after finance and all of those things, right? And I often said to him, I got no intention. I don't want to be the president of Collingwood Football Club, etc. So, he was fantastic for Collingwood. He decided to resign, so I took over the reins for 12 months, and that was during the Do Better. Interestingly, personally, the Do Better report, my personal route wasn't very well written. The recommendations were right, but Collingwood needed to do a lot of work in this area. So it doesn't matter what the report says, and it got plenty of, headlines. Collingwood embarked upon a really good journey of trying to reconcile its past with how do we go forward. And I know from my observations, because I was there, the Collingwood Football Club is much better off for having reconciled that, but also how it thinks about itself as a club and how it thinks about its supporters, how it thinks about less disadvantaged people, how it thinks about indigenous. So it's been very, very good for our players in the club as well as everybody else. Collingwood, even though there was a lot of furor about it, Collingwood is infinitely better off. Collingwood was not an attractive place for our indigenous players to come, and they represent 10% of the playing population. And so, it's been good for Collingwood, but also good for the people and good for our broader community. But what's really important, and I can say for instance, Collingwood took this very, very seriously, and what they did, they invested a lot of money in various processes, righting the wrongs of the past, etc. And there's a lot of lessons out of that all the other clubs can learn. And in fact, I've shared that with Hawthorn and various others. And so I think it was a great process to go through. And it's never finished, of course. Yeah, that's a good question.